what are the four stages of love?
The four stages are the first stage. It starts with infatuation. Yogi Bhajan called it hysteria. On contact, there's hysteria, is what he said, which is that it's that infatuation. You see somebody, it's the thunderbolt. You're like, ah, that's it. Jerry Maguire, you complete me. So that's it. The first stage is infatuation or hysteria. You get it's just like super excited. You're not really like you're alive, but your reality is a little imbalanced. The second stage is a communication starts to develop. So you've met this person, you're so excited about it, and then you start to communicate. You go out, you do things together, and then slowly a frequency of the communication is established. You find a way to relay. You're starting a relationship, so you're starting to relay. So you start to relay, and in that relay of communication, frequency and direction is established. And so that starts to solidify, right? It's like a seed that's been planted, it starts to grow, frequency, communication, direction, and you start to communicate. And then the third stage is where it starts to get difficult. It's the third stage is a determination of who is the lover and who is the beloved, meaning which way does the energy flow in the relationship? This is when things start to kind of go south. Uh, and this stage is also it's a big stage. It's when the communication is established. You start the communication, then the masks come off, and the flow of that communication starts a stage of purification. Okay, and and so because when you first meet somebody, it's you have a projected self, right? You have a projected self. We all have a projected self. We all have these alternate identities that we want to present to the world because of whatever underneath what's happened to us, our insecurities. We have a projected self that's not necessarily completely who we really are. We project a persona into the world, and we have multiple personas. We project that into the world. So when you meet somebody, and so okay, so that persona that you're projecting into the world is oftentimes in a reaction to what's happened to you early in your world. So you're protecting yourself with these personas, right? Because of some subconscious thought form that's happened because of something that's happened to you earlier on. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have these personas, and then we go out there with these personas, and we meet somebody, and the personas are meeting. The two people, the core two original soul-based selves aren't really meeting. It's the personas that meet first, and that's where that infatuation happens. And so that after you start to establish the relationship and the communication frequency is established of the relationship, then you start to purify because there's a back and forth, and that's where the relationship is, well, for lack of a better way of saying it, it's like do or die, right? Because it's either going to get past this stage of who's the lover and who's the beloved, or it's going to break apart. And most relationships, this is where it starts to break apart.